My whole life, I've always heard the advice, oh, just be yourself. Everyone will love you. Just be yourself. But I feel like in this world that we live in, it's easy to forget who that even is. You don't know what you like. You don't have any real hobbies. You just kind of go along with the flow because of what other people are doing. And you don't even really know what you like and who you are. Well, I'm going to teach you how to figure it out. We're going to go back to your roots and figure out who you truly are and what makes you tick and how you can really be authentic and figure out who your authentic self really is. Well meaning parents and teachers kind of have an idea of who they want you to be, and they kind of push that on you. Maybe in your family, you guys have certain hobbies or certain activities that your parents enjoyed doing with you and all of your siblings, and you're expected to like them, whether that be certain sports or activities that maybe you really deep down don't like, but you were expected to like. I feel like I truly have amazing, amazing parents. In my family, we kind of had this culture of being outdoorsy people. We loved to go backpacking, hiking, skiing, the whole nine yards. And it was really great as a family to get outside. But I remember when I was really little, I didn't really like going, and now I've kind of grown to love it more. But when I was young, I was very much a girly girl, and I felt like those parts of myself I kind of had to bury. And so think back to when you were little. What did you like to do? Even though these expectations that our parents or loved ones have on us are most likely well meaning, it can kind of make us lose sight of who we are. We kind of give in to external expectations of how we should be or what we should like. And I think a lot of us have become people pleasers because we've kind of been bred into needing external validation of who we should be. And even social pressure of like, think about like in high school, middle school, you are way more cool if you are athletic or in some sort of sport. Maybe we pretend to like something because it's cool. Okay, another example of this, I did cross country and track in high school, middle school and high school. And I was naturally pretty okay at it. But it kind of took the love out of it for me. And now as an adult, I have friends and loved ones that love doing marathons or Ironmans or triathlons, and I've done a few, and I feel like it's kind of a cool thing to do as an adult is doing these races, which is totally fine. But I've realized as I've thought about maybe training for some more, I just kind of come down to like, why am I doing this? Am I doing this because I love doing it? Or am I doing this so that other people think I'm cool? Am I doing it because truly I want to do it and I love to do it and I want to beat this challenge? Or am I doing it because I care what other people will think about me and I want other people to think I'm cool? And I've really come down to like, frankly, the only reason I really want to do it is so that other people think I'm legit or other people think I'm cool. And so that's just not really worth it to me. That's not worth my time. I love working out, but I have tried to intentionally try all kinds of different physical activities and figure out what I like to do. Not what other people will like or other people will think is cool, but truly what I like to do. Is it Pilates? Is it weight training? Is it running? Is it biking? Is it kickboxing? I think being active is so important, but really figuring out kind of what makes me tick, what will wake me up in the morning to want to get out, not what other people are going to think is the most. Did you like to be outside in the mud? Did you like to play with dolls? Did you like to do hair and makeup? Did you like to cook or be creative or play sports? Really think back to just when you had free time as a kid, what would you fill that time with? And translate that into kind of adult terms and how you can do those things more as an adult. For example, when I was little, I think my favorite toy of all time that I ever got was my Easy Bake Oven. I loved my Easy Bake Oven. I don't know if you guys remember that. You 90s kids remember that. But I loved my Easy Bake Oven. I thought I may as well have been a professional chef when I was using that thing. Now, as an adult, I've realized how much I love to cook. And so, are those things correlated? Probably. I think they might be. And so, think back to when you were a kid and think, what did you enjoy doing back then? The good news is that finding yourself isn't about becoming something new and completely different. It's really just about uncovering what's already there and uncovering and kind of doing some detective work, I guess, of figuring out who you already are. And I think we need to go ahead and unlearn what the world taught you to be. Obviously, there are important things that we've been taught, like being a good person, being a kind person. Those are all very important. We shouldn't forget those. But kind of unlearning who the world told you you should be and rediscovering just kind of who you naturally already are. The first step is recognizing that you've lost touch with yourself, kind of recognizing that and coming to terms with that. This really happens, kind of like I mentioned before, living according to external expectations and constantly putting others first, putting other people's needs and thoughts above your own, and kind of going by what you think others expect you to be. I think also just in life, even like if this has nothing to do with anybody else, just life is busy, life is crazy, and from the time you graduate high school, like you're either working or in school, and then if you get married and become a parent, like life is just busy and you're constantly doing life and giving to others. I think just in kind of the chaos of life, we can lose touch with our finding time to be fun and playful. In the name of being productive, we kind of put having fun on the back burner, which I totally get, but I think we need to find a balance there. And I think it's really easy to lose touch with yourself, which I think is actually the worst thing you could do for yourself. And if you have kids, for your kids, because I think it's so important that our kids see us being whole, happy human beings. And that's like one of the best gifts you could give your kids is by showing them a good example of a joyful, happy, full life and showing them that they can be parents and have a job and have all these things and still be joyful and playful. And I know that's not easy to do, but prioritizing it is key. Or even not ever really finding the time to explore and figure out what your hobbies even are. You may have had friends that were really into pickleball or tennis or mountain biking, and you just kind of went along for the ride because that's what your friends were doing. But do you really even like it? Or are you just doing it because they're doing it? You know what I mean? So figure out kind of, am I doing these things just because it's what everyone else is doing? Or am I doing these because I truly find joy and feel fulfilled and feel re energized after? Find things that make you feel re energized when you're done, when you kind of feel like you're on cloud nine, or like you're able to now come back to your daily life re energized and ready to go. I think so often it's easy to focus on the wrong question. We want to focus on, okay, well, who am I? Like, who am I really? I think instead of focusing on that question, instead of asking, who am I? Ask, what makes me feel alive? When you're done with a certain activity, do you just feel like full of life and full of energy, re energized, ready to take on the rest of your day? I think finding things that make you feel that way, it's speaking to your authenticity. When you feel that way, it means it's for you. When you feel truly excited about something, that's your soul speaking to you. Like you need to listen to that. And when you feel excited, that means it's probably meant for you. So ask yourself these questions. What do I find myself thinking about or daydreaming about? What am I naturally curious about? What do I enjoy learning about? If money was of no object, what would you like to try? Don't get too caught up in labeling yourself in a particular group. I think this is a big mistake. We as human beings like to put everyone in like nice little categories because it makes us think that we know them and know what's going on. I think that's terrible to do to others, but especially to do to yourself. You don't need to be like in this one box of like, I guess the best example that comes to mind is like granola, like a crunchy mom, right? Like if you're crunchy, you probably like eating really clean and let your kids go outside barefoot and don't vaccinate. And those things are fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I think oftentimes, if someone has a natural draw to a few of those things, they will actually just go full launch into like this category or group, even though they don't fully agree with everything, just because they want to be a part of this tribe. And so I think that applies to many other groups. That was just one example that came to my mind. Maybe you like baking your own bread from scratch and letting your kids be barefoot outside, but maybe you believe in vaccinations and you don't want to go into this whole group. That's okay. You don't need to like label yourself as this group to be accepted. Like, just again, be yourself. I think even like politically, we do this. Like, if I am more conservative or liberal and I agree with some of the things on either side, I think oftentimes we'll just turn off our brain and just go full send into one of these groups because It's like, oh, well, if I agree with some of those things, I must agree with all of them, or it's a lot easier just to like be a part of this group. I think that's just so bad. Like, think for yourself, figure out what you like. You don't need to be fully a part of anybody's group. Like, just be authentic. My next point is to follow tiny cues. You don't need this life changing revelation of just who you are and who you're meant to be and your whole life purpose. Like, that's probably not going to happen. It comes little by little and step by step, but just kind of acting on like the next little step you can do. Read a book about something that you're interested in. As you're reading about things, it'll become more clear to you, like what you like about this thing. And if you're truly interested and drawn to it, try learning something at home off YouTube, or go sign up for a class, a local class, a cooking class, a dance class, anything. Start a new Pinterest board where you only pin clothes and outfits that you love, that you're drawn to, that you love, not what other you think other people want you to wear or what's cool. What you love, what speaks to you. If it screams at you, post it. If it doesn't like scream to you, that's not for you. Move on, scroll past. I think another point that is so important is to allow yourself to change. Yes, it's important to look back on our childhood about who we naturally used to be, but also don't cling to that for dear life. Like, we're allowed to change and evolve, and don't allow other people's expectations or your own expectations of who you think you should be hold you back from changing and evolving into the person that you're meant to be. Certain things are meant to be a time in your life or a point in your life and are not meant to be your entire future and your entire story. Allow yourself to move forward and change, evolve, learn new things, become a better you. I think that is just so important. The things that we go through in our life, especially big things like becoming a mom or going to college, like these big things in our lives will change us, hopefully for the better, and we can't be so hung up and clinging to our past identity that we don't allow these beautiful things to move through us and help us to change. So allow yourself to change. Don't try to fight it. Create space for yourself again. Give yourself time. Journal. Go on solo walks without listening to anything. Just think and be inspired by being outside. And make sure you spend time alone with yourself to get to know yourself. If you're constantly scrolling, you are being filled with ideas and thoughts from other people. You are not allowing yourself time to even think about, what do you think about things? What do you feel? If you're constantly flooding your mind with noise, you need quiet and silence in order to reflect and even figure out what you like and what you believe. And as much as it's important to spend time with friends and loved ones, that's huge, and I am a huge proponent for that. But also spend time with yourself. Go on solo dates and ask yourself questions and journal and think and ponder and pray and think about what you truly like in life. So I hope that some of these ideas have sparked something within you. If something stuck out to you, write it down right now and set a goal to try to apply some of these things in your life, because I think it's really important to know who you are. I was once told by a good family friend to be yourself fully, because like the people's lives that you're meant to touch and you're meant to be in and be friends with won't recognize you if you're not being yourself. If you are being authentic to you, you will draw people to you that are meant for you, like your people. And that's when life becomes so enriching and beautiful, when you have close relationships with people that love you for you and you guys just click. If you're trying to be someone that you're not, then you won't click in the same way with these people that are supposed to be in your life. It is truly a non-negotiable. It's really important to figure these things out. And I know that it takes time, so be patient with yourself. But just little by little, start to uncover and figure out what you like. And I think that includes letting go of things that you don't like. Don't be afraid to quit going to certain activities and classes if you don't like them. Like, listen to you and start to figure it out. I want to know down below in the comments, what is something that you've always wanted to try but maybe you've been too afraid to, or just haven't gotten around to it? Let me know in the comments, and please reach out to me and let me know if you try any of these tips and if they work for you. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching this. And if you don't mind, please like and subscribe. I'm really trying to grow my channel right now. So until next time, we'll see you guys. Bye-bye.